Good morning, Forex traders. This is Vance Williams out of the Seattle, Washington area here in the United States. Welcome to my morning Forex trading show. It's Monday, January 19th. Mondays are often slow coming into the U.S. Open. I'll talk this morning about the week ahead like I put in the headline. But before I do that, I just want to show you guys when you click on the player, make sure that you click be part of the conversation right here. And then you can see the links that I have here. So you can click and follow me on Twitter and find out when these shows are going to happen. I'll do my best to provide insights into the market before they happen. And then you can also go to my website at forexartofwar.com right here. And, you can see different things. But mainly, you can get some free books here that people really love. And then take a look at my coaching program here as well. There's something coming. I believe it's going to roll out next Sunday that will be pretty neat opportunity. It's something I've never done before. So do take a look at what we're offering there if you are looking for a little bit of guidance here. Okay, so before we start, again, I want to stress that what we do here is for educational purposes only. There's no wink wink. I'm not intending to secretly give you trade entry and exit points. Just trying to help you learn about this. Now in fundamentals, I'm going to kind of talk about the week a little bit. I mean, today we only have New Zealand on deck. Later today, I think that's at 4 p.m. Tomorrow we have monetary policy statement out of Japan, followed by a press conference on Wednesday. But we're not expecting any surprises there. So if there is a surprise, that would be the surprise. There's a bank rate vote on Wednesday out of the United Kingdom, which could cause some action if they get more hawkish. That would probably cause a rise in the pound dollar. Thursday is probably the biggest day with the ECB press conference. And boy, there's so much out there on this. There's a lot of talk about, they can't get a consensus right now. And Draghi and the gang really feels like they need to, get $1 trillion into the market to get the inflation back where it needs to be. But Thursday ECB, and then on January 25th, which is not this week, but we have the Greek elections. So that's coming around the corner. I studied this a little bit. And you hear talk about Grexit, which is a Greek exit from the Eurozone. It seems actually unlikely in terms of logic when you have the facts. That said, I believe that one currency to represent very different economies will continue to be a fatally flawed concept because in the end, it's just not efficient. But we're human beings. We can cling to ideas that don't work for a very long time. I know from personal experience. I haven't used the word currency wars. It's being used a lot out there. I haven't done so because I think most of the countries are kind of looking out for their own self-interest. That said, the action taken by the Swiss bank last week was, I think, overly selfish, and it hurt a lot of people, including their own people. But they were doing what was best for them. And at the same time, not at all thinking about the consequences to others. So in other words, they didn't just, strike out and make it all about them. I mean, I can't even see, I don't even really understand why they, I mean, I understand why they did it. They just couldn't hold on to a dramatically weakening euro. But I don't understand why they did it the way they did it. Maybe we'll find out later. So I think currency war is a bit strong to describe what's happening because people aren't attacking other people. What they're doing is they're acting in their own self-interest. Could it become more? Well, we'll see. But I think what we can expect is more economies to do what's in their own best interest, and that's going to probably keep us Forex traders on their toes and in a good way, and also continue to cause exciting volatility for us. Exciting only because, we went through some really hard times you know, in when the market was range bound for years. It's nice to see the market's competitive. In major bank trades, one of the top earners, filled a euro dollar sell order in the area of 11600. Let me pop over to that real quick. So they got their order filled, kind of right around in here. Most of what's happening so far with the major banks is they're just picking points of entry on pullbacks going in the direction of the bigger trends, positive US dollar, weakening yen, selling, say, the Australian and New Zealand in the direction of the dollar, or sometimes some of them think that commodities are going to continue to rise. But not a lot of action there this morning, and I'll go over specifics in our member trading room this morning. Okay, let's get to the charts and talk about the buyer and seller behavior that we see there. First thing, I guess, that I want to point out is that the euro is at a turning point here for the intraday money. That's the money that's available to go into play over 1 to 4 days. Just kind of arbitrarily picking a time frame there. So the trend is turning over. We're starting to move a little bit to the top side here, so it's a little bit bullish this morning. There is an increased amount of uncertainty in the market right now that'll sometimes cause traders to take profits who are in sell positions here, and also some to just kind of sit and wait a little bit. But that's where we're at. So our traders using our price logic technique, that's really accurate, looking for an advance and a pullback and a push. You guys are looking at a potential trade right now, coming above 116.16. Let's drop down to the 5 minute, take a closer look at that. Let me go back to the 30. That looks different to me. Okay, so all right, I see that now. So I was picking a point right kind of in here is the 50-50 area on the 30 minutes. So it's starting to move above that. We'd like to see this advance a little bit above this level before pulling back. So we'll see what happens. Right now, this move is, how big is that? So about 16. I'd like to see this just continue up without pulling back and maybe show about 20 pips of strength and get above this former high here. But so far, it's looking a little bit bullish this morning. So that's where our traders will be looking for some of our types of trades. On the pound, we're close to a turnover point. What's most notable about the pound is just really in this messy range here. And part of the reason for that is that we're unclear about where the UK sits, both in terms of their economic outlook of the future and also the policy at the central bank there. So we had a couple of the members on the last vote who were hawkish. In other words, they were more positive about an earlier interest rate increase. And the very last time we got information about them, they kind of backed off that a little bit. So I think probably for any major pound movement here, if they come out with nothing, we'll probably see a further drop here. But if they start to talk a little bit more about increasing rates, we'll see a rise on the pound. So that uncertainty is what's kind of keeping price where it is right now. Going to the dollar yen, I did point out, and again, I don't want to be superstitious. I call pure candle patterns that people trade off superstition. In other words, they're going off something that, a symbol that people believe in rather than the behavior itself. But at the same time, this particular pattern where we have a close under 38.2, prior to 2008, when the markets were competitive, when this happened, about 90% of the time, price tended to move to the next level. The dollar yen pair was always kind of did its own thing. So those numbers really didn't hold up for that. And also we've got a very weak yen in terms of the future. So I don't know if that'll hold up, but it's something you guys can watch and see. It's okay that it did a big bounce here, but the question is, before it makes a run at this top, is it going to go to 50%? So you guys could watch for that. The USD CAD, I'm going to stay away from that one today. Let's, well, I mean, if oil prices continue to drop, the Canadian dollar is going to continue to weaken. As you can see, there's a little bit of doubts here. They did have a really nice correction, followed by a very nice bounce. This was a good trade down in this area, because you could see where that obvious supply area was. And so that was a nice move, probably up to here. I don't think you could have bet on a move here, but certainly from here to here. Right now, it's looking a little bullish this morning. I don't have a read on the current oil situation. Did want to just touch on the Australian dollar and Kiwi, the New Zealand dollar as well. There were big gains in gold last week, which helps. But if the commodities stabilize, which they likely will, we'll see these trends continuing down. But as long as you see rising commodity prices because of the correlation between the Australian dollar and Kiwi's relationship with the commodities, if commodities rise, it tends to make them stronger, their currencies. Lastly, remember that it is Monday and most of the players are not even rolled into work yet in New York. As I'm hosting this show, I'm doing this about a half hour early today. Mondays often begin slowly. I think the markets are still digesting to some extent the move by the Swiss bank and probably wondering what the real me first attitude of central banks could mean in the currency markets. So that's kind of where we're at today. People have more questions on their minds than they have answers, and so trade accordingly. Remember again that you can get my free books at forexartofwar.com right here. 8 things they don't tell Forex traders. Having this information would have helped you definitely with respect to the Swiss bank and understanding broker attitudes. And then the first battle, if you're a new trader, this is a great foundational piece here. So do that, and always write to me if you have any question at all. I'm happy to. If I'm busy, somebody will answer your question. If they don't know the answer, they'll ask me, and you'll get your answer one way or another. So do write to me. To our members, I'll see you guys in about an hour and a half in our live trading room as we get together when Wall Street opens. You guys have a great one, and thank you.